The next part of our video series of lessons here, we're going to talk about this stage. This stage is actually a lot like what you've seen in math class, where you have an invisible x-axis and an invisible y-axis here. And our sprites will all have coordinates based on this axis system. And so we talked in our last video about these reporter blocks that tell me different things about my sprite. So if I click on this X, this is currently at 123 in the X direction. And if I click on this Y, it's at 2 right now, which is just a little bit above this line that I drew, this red line. If I drag this around, I can get to other places. So I would expect that this has a bigger X and a bigger Y based on where I just put this. And it works just like math class, 182, 129. And so the things that you need to learn are the ends of this. And this is in that notes on that lesson that you are doing. But the x-axis goes from negative 240 on one side. I'm going to try and write this in here, but my handwriting with my mouse is not very good. Negative 240 on this side in the x direction. And then in the positive direction, we go to positive 240. So left to right, we have negative 240 to positive 240. That adds up to a total of 480. And that's the pixels across that this is. And then we can go up and down. This goes up to 180 at the top. And it goes down to negative 180 at the bottom. And this works exactly like your coordinate plane that you use in your math class. Then we also can talk about the XY coordinates of any sprite, which is what we had with these X position and Y position that we were just talking about. These right here. Moving on from that, we also have something called direction, and you'll see that right here. And if I click on this, this is saying that currently I'm facing in the 90 direction. So this sprite is headed towards the right, and we define that as 90. You can actually check at any point what direction something is, and that you can do by using this block, but you can also, to figure out which direction is which, this is the trick that I always use. I grab this point and direction block, and if I click on this drop-down menu in the input, it actually gives me the opportunity to look right here and see which direction is which. So they say that right is 90, left is negative 90, up is 0, and down is 180. And you can use this to remember which direction everything is. Now, with this arrow pointer, if I were to change this to point up, which is 0, and then I click on this, you'll notice that my sprite is now facing in the upward direction. And there's different things we do with our sprites and different types of sprites. So sometimes you can tell by the sprite's design, how it looks, which direction it's actually facing, and sometimes you're not going to be able to. So don't always count on your sprite to tell you exactly where it is, but you can always pull this reporter block that has the direction, and it'll tell you which direction you're currently facing.